So who am I? So it's a bit small, so I'll read it to you. I'm from the UK. I don't live in the UK. I moved about 16, 17 years ago to Munich to work with Compaq Computer. What did I do there? Compaq at the time was a big Microsoft house, and I was working for the least popular alliance. I was working with Red Hat, SUSE, Caldera. I was on the dark side. I was in the Linux world. Unsurprisingly, I was very interesting to Microsoft. So I joined Microsoft in 2002 and worked, and I always have done, with people like yourself. So you students turn entrepreneurs, turn developers in our partners, turn developers in our customers. So for me, you are my audience. I don't do this alone. I have a team of, I think it's 24 people that work across the region that I cover, which is 24 countries. And we do what I've said, connect with you guys, work with startups, work with students. What have I done in the past? Actually, I've set up 12 Microsoft Innovation Centers. These are multi-year, super complex, private-public partnerships. When they work well, they're amazing. They're game changers for the ecosystem, for everybody. Microsoft is just part of that. When they work badly, they're a bit of a problem. So these are big projects that I've been involved in. So, in summary, over the last few years, I've lived through the dot-com, the dot-bomb, and I've lost a little bit of money there too. And I'm now in the startup world. And I tell you, it's much more exciting than dot-com or dot-bomb, because I think we've got genuine things going on now. So, my calculation is that I'm on a curve here. And I think at about a certain point in time, your attention over time will drop. It's been calculated through science that it's about slide 11. So that's my optimum point to land all my messages. So I'll just bear with me. So the reason I had the title, The Future Starts Yesterday, was quite simple. I think a lot of the things that we're seeing now, the origins of them in terms of the business potential, the gap in the market, started many, many years before. So startups can only make money if there's something to sell, something to create, and someone's going to buy it. So we're really exploiting unmet needs. But you could say, I didn't think we needed another taxi company. We have lots of taxi companies. I didn't think we needed another alternative to hotels. Telephones, we have telephones. So there's always innovation coming from the most unlikely sources, and it's being able to see that in a different way. That's where we see amazing things happen. What I wanted to also talk about is not just innovation, but also using technology as well. Sometimes technology as an enabler, cloud, but also things that are coming new onto the market, becoming popular. Just struggling with this. My fitness band here is going to come off. Yes, it is. Here it is. So things like fitness bands, unbelievable amount of technology wrapped in this tiny little device. Then we have other things which are catching the attention of the world. For us, it's HoloLens. The demand for this platform is immense. I could sell developer kits 7 days a week for the next 3 months and then still probably keep going. So, unfortunately, I can't even get hold of one. The demand is so strong. But this is this technology is not even proven. Nobody knows what they're really going to do with things like HoloLens. It really relies on people in this room and others to take it to the level it should get to. Microsoft does not really do much more than give you a demo version of what you can do with it, and then you build upon it. So what did I want to talk to you about today? Firstly, my colleague from the office said, don't do a corporate pitch. It doesn't go down very well. I thought, lucky, because I'm very bad at corporate pitches. So I thought I would share with you some of my experiences, my observations of what's worked and not worked. Some things are a bit surprising, some things maybe, well, I haven't seen that. So at that point you can check your phone for email. So I had 5 areas I was going to talk about, starting with disruptive business models. Now, we all need an excuse to put a picture of Formula One on, so that's my excuse. But I wanted to do it because there's a gentleman called Stephen Fitzpatrick, English guy. Actually, he's born in Ireland. That's unfair. Born in Ireland. And he is a big Formula One fan, and he invested £30 million of his own money in buying the Marussia team and setting up Manor Racing. So this is the newest team into, well, Haas is the newest team. It's one of the newest teams into Formula One. Very early days for them. But this guy is meticulous. He is a planner. He thinks ahead. So he started up a company called OVO Energy, and he has not broken, but he's completely disrupted the energy market in the UK. And there have been people coming in following, but this guy is the guy that's known for doing it. How did he do it? He realized, like all of us, we're paying for energy from big suppliers, state suppliers, international suppliers. We don't have a lot of choice in what we get, how the choice in ways in which the energy is generated. In this case, this is green. So he thought there must be a gap in the market. Now, you think that's obvious. Let's set up a website and let's get going. He spent 5 years investigating the market, how it worked, the regulatory processes, who he needs to partner with, saving up money, £350,000 of his own money. This guy was not a millionaire before he did a thing. And when he did, he disrupted the model. And he was very, very quickly successful. This is a very young company. So if you are going to invest in disruptive business models using standard technology, do not underestimate the time you'll need to spend researching it. I would think even companies like Uber, before they stepped forward, had to make sure that there was an awful lot of things in place before they could even start publishing their first phone app. So disruptive business models, difficult to protect. You will protect them by the research and preparation that locks the market to you. Now, the other kind of innovation is more to do with technology. And I've seen that over the years, which is good, we stopped reinventing the ways in which we want to create content management system, the ways in which we want to manage messaging between applications. I cannot believe the people that were spending time rewriting ERP solutions. Basically, it's been done. So now, startup community, entrepreneurs take standard components, click them together in a different format, present it to the market. One problem: it's damn easy to copy. So if you have a great idea that you're enabling through technology, look at the one part of that you can protect. So one example is we're working with an amazing company in Malta that are into consumer imaging. Company's called Deja Vu. I think they're currently working with selective companies. They admitted to me that pretty well everything they have is off the shelf. It's standard. They use Adobe, they use us, but there's one small element in it which is proprietary to them, and that they protect. That you'll never see, but it creates magic. So if you are going to protect your technology, the software that you've created, make sure you protect the bit that's really important, because the rest of it you'll never be able to protect, and you'll just get upset. Another twist on this is another company I've got to know. They bought IP. So we're here trying to think now, we've got to think of something really clever, There are a lot of people that get an idea to a certain point, they run out of time, money, energy, the will to live, God knows, but at a certain point they stop. And that piece of IP is you can buy. So also think about that. This company, they bought some technology to do with magnetic resonance frequencies. They can tell about torque. He never developed a thing. He just took it off the shelf, paid 10,000 euros for it, I think. And this technology goes into Formula One jacks that puts on the wheels. It senses when the wheels are tight. He didn't buy it. He didn't create anything. He used standard stuff around it. So think about IP and how you would protect it. Know your numbers. It's a bit different to the first one. That was the disruptive business, that's due diligence. This is when you're ready to start looking for investment. So you've used your personal savings, you use your friends' savings, family, you've gone to the bank, it's just beginning to get going, you're looking now to get proper professional investment in. They will tear you apart in 1 minute, unless you have your numbers. So the size of the market you're targeting, its growth, the competitors, if you're already making money, how much money, how fast are you growing, your overheads, customer contracts you've already secured. All of these things you need to have at the top on your fingertips. An example of this is when a company, for me, and I make a very, very easy differentiation, when a company asks Microsoft, myself, can you help us expand into another market? Well, yes, we can. It's quite difficult, but it's possible. Which market? Ukraine, Russia, Estonia? Which one? Anyone will do. But you must have a preferred one. Not really. Okay. So what would you be selling? You currently sell insurance solutions. What would you be selling? It doesn't need to be insurance. It could be something else. Okay, but have you got any ideas? Yeah, okay, insurance. Right, so do you know the insurance market in these countries? No. So what do you want from us? Can you help us? I would like to say I don't hear that very often. I hear that a lot. So if you are going to approach a company like Microsoft, we're not an investor. That's not strictly true, but by and large we're not an investor, but we're an enabler. Make sure you know exactly what you want and how you're going to get it, and give us a very simple ask. Then we can deliver. Similarly with an investor, be very clear about what you want. Then they can help. Now this is an odd picture. Years ago, I attended an amazing course. It was held in the most unlikely place. It was held in the Chelsea Football Club Stadium in London. But I've never forgotten the course, because there was a very interesting gentleman. I didn't know what he was there for, but on the last day, he realized it was all to do with innovation and startup. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. And it was run by the Judge College in Cambridge Business School. I didn't realize this gentleman, elderly gentleman, I'm quite elderly, he was even more elderly than me, was in fact an inventor himself. And he had a vision, something that was driving him forward. And so it's very close to the technology, and this is to be able to do what we would probably see now as live body image scanning. You see it at the airports, you have to stand like this. So that was what he wanted to create it, but in an even more compact form than we're seeing now. This is very, very heavy investment, and not all investors get that dream. So if your innovation, your startup, your idea is like this, think about this as a journey. And in his journey, he took breaks. He didn't want to, but he had to. And he said, it cost me 2 years. And in that break, he took some of the contacts, the technology they'd got, and commercialized it. He may have sold it on to somebody else, or he continued with it, but that was what paid the bills. And ultimately, and he said, as he said, every time he did this, he lost some time. But he was on such an interesting, such a demanding area that it didn't matter so much, and he still got there in the end. So just think about monetizing as you go, not necessarily using investors or whatever. Think about what you can do, but keep to your mission. And this is my last learning. I'm helping a couple of startups right now, quite close to me, so I'm feeling the pain with them. And I have to say, you change your mind a lot. Now, if you change your mind just because I just think it's Tuesday, so if it's on Tuesday, we'll do something different. That's probably not the right reason. But if you're seeing that within the business model you have, it's not working, it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to change your mind and then change it back again. Doing that shows that you're learning. It's called different things. It's called making a mistake. They think you need to do this about 5 times. They call it pivoting, switching around. You probably need to do that about 5 times. But you will, at start's working phase, start to bring it together. But it's bumpy. And do you know what, Microsoft, I just looked at this, I just realized, we only work with companies that are unhappy. Everybody seems to be below that line, because once they start getting to scale, in my job, they're gone. I've given them away, they're in their own life, they're doing great, that's fine. We meet them just after initial enthusiasm, they're in an accelerator, an incubator, they're just dipping down, they've just had the first session, so we tend to meet them there, and it's tough. It is tough. I don't underestimate that. But you will get through it, and you will learn from it. So be happy, celebrate changing your mind, celebrate reinventing yourself, but keep at it. It'll get there in the end. But let's talk about technology once again. There are many different enablers of change, and we think one of them, not the only one, Masquerade, for example, is not a cloud-based technology, it's client-based, so not all of them. But we do think one of the enablers is cloud computing. So you guys would never think of putting in a rack of servers and running an application on them and then putting it across that. You wouldn't do that. I know that. But the customers and the market around you, they still do that. And it slows them down. So this is why we think cloud, for forward-thinking companies and startups, is an enabler. Right now in the market, there are really only 2 public cloud suppliers. There are other players, but there are only 2. Microsoft is one of them. You can guess who the other is. And because we think it's an enabler, I also want to make an announcement today of something I want to give to this audience. And it's a subscription, 1-year subscription to BizSpark. So BizSpark comes in 2 flavors. There's the entry-level version, which is available and gives you up to $750 a month of cloud computing. So virtual machines, Azure functions, whatever you want to use, it's available. Consume as much as you like, up to $750. We include with that development tools, which will be worth about $13,000, technical support, but we do have a premium offer. This is $120,000 worth of Azure computing. So this could be storage, it could be online rendering, it could be anything that we offer. That's $10,000 a month. This should be enough, and I know the numbers, it is enough. This should be enough for any company that would require cloud computing to really make it rock. And we'd like to award one company today with this investment. It is an investment. This is, for us, money. This is our contribution. There are some rules. Needs to be less than 5 years old, new. They need to be from this region, Central and Eastern Europe. Revenues currently under $1 million. I can't really read it there, but it says suitable for the cloud, and an awesome solution. So later on today, there'll be a judging. My colleague here is on the front row will mastermind that, and one lucky company will walk away with a massive investment and a step forward in their business model. So my last slide. My company, that I've been in for 14 years nearly, has also learned something. And it's learned that the roots of the company are in technology and innovation. And I think somewhere we kind of forgot that a bit. I'm very pleased to say now it's very much back in the company. It never left, but it's back in the company as the way that we move forward. And the one thing that I think our new CEO said, which really resonates for me personally, is in the industry there's only one thing is respected, and that's innovation. And I think this event is a great example of that as well. So thank you for your time, and good luck with your next wonderful adventures.